Hello. Hello. Very good morning, dear student. Hope you all are doing well. Please join fast. We'll start our discussion. Please confirm me whether my audio, video, everything is okay or not. Hello. Very good morning, dear student. Hope you all are doing well. Join fast. Start our discussion. Please confirm my. So, dear student, very good morning to all of you. Hope you all are doing well. Please join fast. We'll start our discussion. Chaliye. So we'll start. So dear student, now it's audible. So once again, very good morning to all of you, dear student. So before starting the discussion, the important question is how you can get this PDF. So you can scan this QR code to download our application, and within this application, not the today PDF, all the past PDF already available, so you can get it from there. This is called Infographics edition. So we are also charging, it is 300 rupees per year, and which is less than per year, which is less than 1 rupee per day. So by using that, you can reduce your 3 hour of effort in just 45 minutes, and in that you'll get a lot of insights, lot of selected content need to be filtering out, so you can get this PDF. So please do it. And those who are using iOS and iPad device, you can download the Class Plus application and then use our code PKRMEJ to get all this benefit. So next, uh, those who want daily MCQ of the Hindu newspaper and daily mains answer writing, we are also posting a lot of MCQ mains answer writing in our Telegram group. You can also get that by scanning this QR code to join our Telegram. Okay? You can also join our Telegram to get this Hindu original PDF and Indian Express PDF also. So you can scan this QR code to join our Telegram as well. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So uh, so first one is the file affidavit in a 7 days or apologize. This is what said by the election commissions to the Rahul Gandhi. So what is the case? So before discussing, let me say tell you something. So dear student, we are going to see how each and every article of our newspaper is very much important for your prelims, mains or interview. If it is important for prelims, then what kind of question they can ask. If it is important for mains, then which section of the mains and what kind of content, how it can, how we are going to use in our mains. If it is interview, then how we are going to use in interview. So please watch this video till the end. You will get a lot of insight, and that is going to helpful for your answer writing. Chaliye. So the file affidavit in 7 days or apologize. This is what said by the election commission to the Rahul Gandhi. Recently, Rahul Gandhi is accusing the election commission is acting, bipartisan support to the ruling government by creating by adding voter list in a fraudulent way, so that that is what creating trouble, that is helping the current government to win the election and acting as a check for the opposition to win the election. So that is the reason you can see here. So this comes 10th day after the Gandhiji allegedly deliberated that large-scale discrepancy on the electoral roll of the Mahadevpura assembly segments of Bangalore Central Lok Sabha, where BJP won in the 2014 Lok Sabha. So in reactions to that, Election Commission on Sunday doubled down on the leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi, submit an affidavit stating that his allegation of electoral malpractices, they need to provide evidence or they have to take apologize against the public. So that is what their demand. So what is my take? देखो, in a democratic institution, so all institutions should be criticized and all institutions should be subjected to scrutiny. So election commission is not exceptions to that. So election commission is the sole role of to ensure free and fair election. So whatever may be the allegation, instead of acting threatening anyone to take action, rather election commission should use this as a high time to bring about a reform to change its behavior to make election commission more approachable to the people. So that is what I think we need to ensure about the election commission, rather than election commissions taking steps against the opposition party. So next is the center GST reform will benefit the poor and middle class. So this is what said by our Modi ji. The proposed changes to the goods and service regime will benefit the poor, middle class, trader, and entrepreneurs. This is what said by our Prime Minister Modi ji. So for us, reform signifies advancement of the good governance, which is why we have strong emphasis on continuous improvements. Recently our Prime Minister during Independence Day speech issue talk about reforming the GST. Current GST is having a lot of tax slab, 5%, 12% slab, 18% slab, and 28% slab. Along with that, there is a cess on demerit or harmful goods. Then there is also 0.25 tax on the precious gold metal. You can see so many taxes making it very complex for this implementation. So government is planning to have only 5%, 18%, and 40%. They are planning to remove this 28% and 12%. Some of these item that is currently in 28% will move to the 40%. These are demerits goods, that means it's very harmful for the health, and some of them will be moved towards the 18%. So that is what they are planning. So next is CP Radhakrishna is NDA's vice president candidate. So Maharashtra governor CP Radhakrishna was named as a National Democratic Alliance vice presidential candidate. After the resignation of the Jagdeep Dhankar, so post is lying vacant. So the NDA candidates, the NDA coalitions, they are filing their candidates to the post of vice president. Dear student, you can join our mentorship program. The price is very low. You'll get high quality mentorship at nominal price. Please scan this QR code to join the mentorship program. So next is a jailhouse rocked, how an extortion network tumbled out of the Tihar. So this is recently an acquisition leveled against the Tihar jail. They have said that how within the Tihar jail, if someone is within the jail after the long infamous for the chronic overcrowding, India's largest and most security prison, Tihar Jail is now under scanner for extortion racket running within the four walls, allegedly involving officials and inmates. Both the police officials, those who are managing the jails, and those who are the criminals, though both acting together to run this network. Very disturbing and startling allegation. So Mr. Goel alleged that during his 2 month incarnation, he was reportedly coerced to pay protection money by prisoner official in collusion with certain inmates. Refusal pay would invite threat of having face disfigure with a blade, he added. So police officials in involvement of those who are on the jails, the inmates, so they have demanded money from those who are in the prison. If you are not going to pay prison, they will attack while night or any time when people are not available. So he paid 15 lakh. So he was forced to pay 15 lakh as a extortion money. The modus of operandi to extort money from the inmates to have his family member transfer a fixed amount of money to the relative of other inmates who are part of the allegedly rackets. In return, the inmates are allowed to unlimited use of video conferencing facility for e-mulakat and online interview with family members. In jail, if that kind of network is going on, so it's a severe allegation. So we need to investigate. Jailer, if some people are getting selective treatment while other are not getting selective treatment, so that is what going to create a lot of troubles. So directed the inspecting judge Tihar jail to examine the allegation and submit a report. So that is what led to the we need to ensure there is a proper investigation and finding those who are involved. So it confirmed the existence of an extortion network operating in the convenience with the jail authority. Those who are in the management of jail, definitely they are also involved in the process. So reflected very small practices prevalence in the jail and indicate collusion between the inmates and officials corrupt activities. Okay. So disciplinary proceeding has been initiated against 9 jail officials. Some of them have been suspended, other have been transferred. So if jail is meant for penalizing people, but if people are within the jail, they are, instead of penalizing, they are running the extortion network. They have access to the everything. And if the jail staffs or the employee of the jails, if they are selectively giving preferential treatment to the people, just imagine what kind of things will happen. So people are, we are convicting someone and sending jails for penalty, but within jail, if this kind of things happen, just imagine it, what kind of we can expect if someone is within the jail, so have to give the extortion money, or there is a threat to their life as well. So this is a very severe allegation. We need to investigate properly and found the reason for it, and then we need to reform it. Okay. So next important news is 185 people cross the line. So so I think you all know that in our neighbor country, particularly Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Afghanistan. So I don't know those who are minority in this country like Hindus, so they have been constantly attacked by this country, and they are repeatedly forced to change, marry the local people. So because of that, so many people are migrated to India to protect themselves. So several Pakistani refugees living in Gujarati became the Indian citizen last month. Their decade-long journey to become Indian citizen filled with aspiration, belief, and hope for their children in future. So I think you already knows that. So I'm just reading some story, so you can just if it is essential, you can write in your essay also. So Soroji left behind the Janma Bhumi, the Thar Pakistan district of Pakistan Sindh provinces, decided to cost him 40 acres of land, his livestock, and way of life his family known for generation. With his wife and 8 children, boarded the train to India, search for dignity and better future. So people those who are facing problem in the Pakistan, so they are migrating from Pakistan to India by the way of either train or anything. They are leaving behind whatever they have, even 40 acre of land they have to left. Dear student, very good morning to all of you. So everything is okay, my voice is audible or not? So please keep interacting during this discussion, otherwise it's very difficult for me to know what's going on, what's not. ठीक है, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So living my watan was never easy, so this is what said. And now, whenever you are living behind a huge amount of property and earning only 300 a daily in India, so that means there is a drastic change in your life. So Indian Citizenship Amendment Act, that is enacted in 2019, that is provide for citizenship to the three from the minority community from the three countries, that is Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Those who are belongs to the Hindu, Sikhs, Parsi, Jain, Buddhist, and Christian. That means it provides the minority from three country and six religious minority. They can get the citizenship of India, both documented and undocumented, from the Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Afghanistan, who will arrive before the 31st 2014. That means it is providing not everyone, but those who have arrived before 31st December 2014. So these person will be eligible for Indian citizenship. Okay. So just before the COVID regulation come in, so the anti-CA, that is anti-CA protest across the India, claiming it was discriminatory nature against the Muslims. So before the COVID-19, so there was a protest that is going on. So that is what called anti-CA, that is Citizenship Amendment Act of 2019. They believe that it it allow all the minority community from Bangladesh, Pakistan, Afghanistan, they can get the citizenship of India except the Muslim community. So because of that, they believe it is a discriminatory, and that is the reason there is a protest was also going on. So I think just read it so you can understand how the plight of the peoples, those who are coming from the neighboring country to India. So that you can have fair amount of idea. You can write some points in your exams also. चलिए last page पे चलते हैं. So healthy sides. So health side, healthosides. So this is a word of the day. So what do you mean by healthosides? Healthosides means war against the healthcare. So we know that genocide, we know that war crime. So same thing is about healthosides. So the author wrote that the word capture a new extreme pattern of violence against the healthcare system that routinely talks of attacks on the healthcare, does not capture. Instead, they continue today's deliberate large-scale destruction of whole health system in the conflict zones, such as Gaza, needs called healthosides. So strategy to kill clinician, bomb the hospital, block the ambulance, and dismantle the supply chain in order to erode the population capacity to for care. This is what called healthocide. So I think you can if you can use this kind of jargon in your main answer writing, so that is what going to give you an edge, give you a sense that you know a lot of things. It's very important for your essay also. This is called healthocide. So please remember that. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So biodiversity everywhere is ordered by a common hidden pattern. So I think if you look into the earth, you'll find that different region is having different biodiversity. Why this is because different region is having different type of climate, different type of temperature, different type of rainfall, different type of history. That is the reason the biodiversity the South America is different from the South Africa. That is also different from the India, but if you look into, in equatorial area, we have densely populated biodiversity. If you go on towards the polar area, you will see that diversity is gradually going to be decrease. So there is a pattern of that. So now the researchers are studying to understand it. Okay. So I don't think beyond that this article is much important, because it is quite scientific study, but it is not much important for our examination. So whatever I've given it, just read it. Finally, they took so species. So few things that you need to know about in biodiversity. First one is species richness. How many how many characteristics of species live here? So biota overlap. What fraction of species are non characteristics? Occupancy. How widely characteristic species range? And endemicity, that means how many species are native to this region. So how much of the each characteristic species range is confined to that particular region alone. So these are the few characteristics you need to know, not much beyond, because these are mostly research, not for our application. So unification of Syria cannot happen at the cost of blood, said by the Sarah as Islam Israel. So recently the southern Iraq, southern Syria. So there is a demand for separate states. So their new president, they are saying that we need to unite our country in a peaceful way. So dear student, it is a homework study about this Syria. Syria is having border with how many country, whether it is having border with the Mediterranean Sea or not. So please read it very carefully. I think you can open the Google map. You can open the Google map. You can see the country Syria. There you can see the country Syria. Okay. So you can see the how Syria map is, whether it is having border with the Israel. So there is a region called. Okay. So just open the political map, you'll get a lot of insight about this Syria also. So you have to see that. Okay. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So because you need to know about the map of the Syria, whether it is having border with the Mediterranean Sea, whether it is having border with the Israel, and there is a conflict that is going on between, there is a region that is controlled by the Israel, but it is claimed by the Syria. So what is that region? Please write in the comment box. So let me see how to know that. So there is a 7 days war happens. 7 days war. So in that war, Israel captured a lot of territory from its neighborhood. So in Syria, so it is capture which region? So please tell me in the comment box after some time. If anyone give answer, I'll inform you everyone. So it is called Golan Height. So we have captured Golan Height from the Syria. So I just want to give you. You can see the Syria political map. देखो, Syria is having. Yes. So you can see Syria is having access to the Mediterranean Sea. This question they have asked in UPSC multiple times, whether Syria is having access to the Mediterranean Sea or not. Let me add here. Okay, Syria is having access to the Mediterranean Sea. You can see here. So Syria is having border with the Israel. So this is what called Golan Height. Golan Height is a disputed territory between Israel and Syria. So already having access to the Mediterranean Sea. This question I've asked multiple times. Also having the border with the Iraq. Also having the border with the Turkey. Okay, so you have to go through in detail. You have to study in detail. Okay, so this is a water body. What is the name of that water body? You have to remember. So it is not like we are just simply reading for sake of reading. This is Sea of Galilee. Okay, Sea of Galilee. So it's having border with the Israel. Okay, having border with the Jordan, having border with Iraq. Okay, having border with the Iraq, having border with the Turkey. Okay, so Golan Height is a disputed territory between Israel and Syria. ठीक है, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next one is the protester clash with the police in Israel over Gaza hostage deal. So, this war is going on between Israel and Palestine, the Gaza Strip. So, this 22-month war led to the death of more than 62,000 people. So, the classes is going on. Israel keep attacking the civilians and, those who are taking the ads. So, that led to the international level condemnations. So, Putin agreed to, चलिए नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल देखते हैं. सो नेक्स्ट इज अबाउट पुतिन एग्री टू यूएसए and use sentiment security guarantee for Ukraine at this summit. So, especially envoy Steve says that USA could offer Article 5 like protection. One of the reason Kyiv want to be NATO. So, he added that Russia has promised to make a legislation commitment not to go after any additional territory in Ukraine. So, what is Article 5 of NATO? Article 5 of NATO is collective defense. That means attacking against any NATO country is considered attack against all country. That is what called collective defense. So, dear student, very good morning to all of you. So, hope my voice is audible, and we are conducting the discussion daily on around 8:30 to 9 a.m. in the morning. So, please turn on your notification so that you can get the notification whenever you are live. So please keep interacting whatever I'm asking. So special USA envoy said that Russian leader Vladimir Putin agreed in his summit with the President Donald Trump that is held in Alaska. Donald Trump allowed US and European ally to offer Ukraine a security guarantee resembling NATO collective defense mandate as part of the eventual deal to end the 3.5 year long, 3.5 year long. So ultimately, according to claim by the USA envoy, so Russian presidency agreed to provide, agree for the European and USA to provide a security guarantee equivalent to the NATO. So we are able to win following concession. United States could offer Article 5 like protection, which is one real reason why Ukraine want to be in NATO. So once you are part of the NATO member are covered under the Article 5 of the NATO agreement. So according to that agreement, attack against any one country is attacking against any one member of the NATO is considered attacking against the all country. So European Commissions said that we welcome Donald Trump willingness to contribute Article 5 like security guarantee for the Ukraine and coalition of willing. So coalition of willing, so there can be a question. So coalition of willing comprising of which countries? So including European Union is ready to do its share. So he added that Russia said it would make legislative commitment not to go after additional territory in Ukraine. So Russia is also committed not to add more territory of the Ukraine, rather restrict itself territorial gain. So this is what the summit they have said. So चलिए next article देखते हैं. So European leader to join Zelensky at the Trump meet. So no, the Alaska summit that is being held, that is between the Russian president and American president, without any invitation either from the European Union nor from the Ukrainian. So that led to the criticism, and now European leader to join Zelensky at the Trump meeting so that the European interest and Ukrainian interest to be protected in the negotiation. So European leader including German, French, Britain will accompany the Ukrainian President Vladimir Putin to meet Donald Trump in Washington. They said on Sunday, seeking to bolster him as a US president, pass quick to ensure the peace process. So the talk will address, among other things, security guarantee, territorial issue, and continue support for the Ukraine in defense against the Russian aggressions. ठीक है? So dear student, please study about this coalition of willing. So who are the member of coalition of willing? ठीक है? चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So dear student, you can get this PDF at you can get this PDF in our application by 300 rupees per year, so which is less than 1 rupee per day. So by using that you can save time, you can reduce your 3 hour of effort in just 45 minutes. So please don't waste your time and save time you can invest in your optional and GS study also. So grassland invader staple the Assam's island-like national parks homes to the feral horse. So you can see the invasive alien species. They are threatening everywhere. So one such invasive alien species found on the Assam's grassland. So they are threatening the native species. Once the native species are threatened, so native species act as a food for the herbivores in that region. So but alien species, they don't act the food for anyone. So if the native species are died, so then the animal that depends on them, they also died. So invasive alien species is creating threat for our biodiversity, they are spreading very rapidly. So we need to take steps to control it. So you can see new study has identified at least two native plants that have joined invasive species to alter the riverine ecosystem on eastern Assam Dibru Saikwa National Park. So dear student, you have to study in detail about the Dibru Saikwa National Park. So what kind of species are available, whether like fauna, flora, what kind of river is passing through that. So you have to study in detail, because nowadays UPSC is combining environment with the geography. So the only habitat of feral horse in the India. So these species have added to the change in the grassland dominated the Divri Sohikwa National Park's landscape, largely attributed to the recurring Brahmaputra river floods and increasing anthropogenic pressure from the village located in the boundary. So native grasses invader, so that is what called Bombax, Bombaxeria, Bombaxebia, and Longer Stromia Spesosia. So flower trees known for the Simalu and Ajjar in Assam. So these are spreading very fast. So then next is you might be know about feral horse. So 200 feral horse which are descendant of military horse abandoned during World War II. So these are also found. The study recommended that target grassland recovery project that would encompass control of the invasive species, improve surveillance, increasing the staffing and relocation of the forest, and support community-based conservation efforts. So these are few things we need to take. So if you have to write what are the solution, how we can overcome this invasive alien species, so these are the points you can write. you know so a targeted grassland recovery project with help encompassing control of invasive alien species, improve surveillance, increasing staffing. So these things if you are can take, then we can able to overcome this invasive alien species. So 309 family evicted from grazing reserve in Assam. So this is what the step taken by the Assam government. No need to go in detail. So allies were taken on board to pick vice president nominee. This is what said by the BJP president JP Nadda. So the Maharashtra governor CP Radhakrishna was chosen as the NDA vice presidential candidate. So if you look into the electoral college for electing vice president of India, consisting of MP of both house, where NDA is comfortable position in terms of numbers. So that means there is high chances that whosoever the person is chosen by the NDA can be vice president. If elected, Radhakrishna will be second person from the Tamil Nadu to occupy. Why it is very significant? Because recently we have seen Tamil Nadu state government, they accusing the state government against imposition of Hindi language. By appointing that, center might give a signals to it is not against the Tamilians. So next is bill to criminalize minor offense to be introduced in Lok Sabha today. So bill to decriminalize minor offense. That means the government is making effort to make ease of doing business by removing the criminal provision with penalty. So this is what called Jan Bishwas bill. So whenever you have talking about what are the steps taken by the government to improve ease of doing business, so you can talk about decriminalization of certain provision and simplification of the laws, so and repealing of the old laws. So to decriminalize certain minor offences to promote ease of living and business will introduced by the Union Commerce and Industry Ministry. So according to the list of business posted in the Lok Sabha website, so ministry introduced Jan Biswas to amend certain enactment for decriminalizing and rationalizing offences to further enhance the trust based on the governance and ease of living. If law are very harsh, law are very cumbersome, so that is what impact the productivity of our people. So if law are very simple, so that is what improving our ease of doing business. So about 350 provisions are proposed to be amended through the bill. So the legislation is part of the government effort to improve country business climate. So if you look into so if you look into in 2013 Jan Biswas Act enacted, which decriminalized 183 provision, 42 central act administered by the 19 government. That means government is constantly taking effort to decriminalize, remove certain provision that is what very hard on the people. So government earlier abolished more than 40,000 compliance deemed unnecessary. It also scrapped 100 1500 obsolete law, older law. They don't have any relevance nowadays, but still they are acting like rent seeking behavior. So we have gone to the parliament to amend the dozen of the law to simplify them and waive less interest of the public first. So next is simultaneous poll gives on the simultaneous poll bill will give unfettered power to the election commission. So this is what said by the former Chief Justice of India, Sanjeev Khanna. So recently, Union government is proposed to introduce simultaneous election in the parliament, so that both the state election and the parliament election or general election can held together. But according to the Justice Khanna, so unfettered discussion on the election commission deciding that an election, the assembly poll could not be conducted along with that of the Lok Sabha. So that is what led to the rapid misuse also. To Lok Sabha to hold special debates on the impact of Subhanshu Shukla space trip. So we know that Subhanshu Shukla ji visited to International Space Station by which mission? Can anyone tell in the comment box? It is through the Axiom space mission. So this is the second person from India visited the International Space Station, and whatever the experience learning through this mission is going to helpful for our Gaganyaan mission and further space travel. So after a nearly wash out of the last four sitting of the session of the parliament, the Treasury bench rejected the opposition demand for debate on the special revision drive that is been going on in the Bihar. So government now listed special discussion on the India's first astronauts aboard the International Space Station, critical role for space program for Viksit Bharat by 2047 on Lok Sabha agenda Monday. ठीक है. So astronauts Group Shukla returned to India early in the Sunday after his visit to the International Space Station. Mr. Shukla is expected to meet the Prime Minister Modi ji. ठीक है. So I think just need to know all these things. No need to go in detail. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next is a list of the name deleted from the Bihar draft roll shared on their district website. This is what said by the Election Commission. Election Commission, in a reply to the allegation made by the Congress party and leader of opposition, so said that those name has been deleted from the special intensive revision drive. Already we have uploaded their name in the district list, so you can check that. So next is Chief Election Commission resorting to veil threat rather than transparency. This is what said by the Congress, because recently after allegation by the leader of opposition, the Election Commission is saying, so either you have to give the proof or apologize to the nation. So in that, Election Commission is supposed to act and bring about more transparency. It should not go for those who are raising allegation. Role of opposition is to question everyone and make the institution accountable. So Election Commission, rather than acting against this, need to be provide more evidence, okay, to support their claim. So dear student, if you are interested, you can join our OPSC prelims test series. So price is very nominal, yet you will get high quality test series. चलिए, so GST reform to benefit poor and middle class. How? Let's see. So earlier we are used to have a lot of tax rates. Now I have already told you it's 5%, then 12%, then 18%, 28%. Now we are planning to remove this 12% and 28%, and will replace with 40%. Some of the 28% go to the 40%, that is demerit and sin good, and some of also go to the 18%. To make this very simple, so 28 rate of GST will be removed to the 18%. A few will go to the 40% bracket. Okay, so government is planning Diwali as a deadline for this implementation. So if we are going to reduce the rate of GST, so there is chances that it will reduce our tax collection, but this is not going to happen, because if you reduce the tax, so that will lead to the more demand. If more demand of the people, that will lead to the more tax collection. So this is what called Laffer curve. So this is what called Laffer curve, percentage of tax collection and tax rate. This is called Laffer curve, Laff, Laffer curve, giving relationship between the tax rate and tax collection. If you have optimum level of taxes, that is lead to the more tax collection rather than reducing. If cess, we are also charging a cess. So there is a question that whether this cess is going to be imposed on the tobacco, gutka, other sin good. Otherwise, the gutka tobacco price is going to be reduced drastically. So government are saying we are going to look into that. So government is planning to bring this reform before the Diwali as a Diwali gift to our peoples. So Uttarakhand cabinet cleared the bill for minority education institute. So recently we have seen there are different minority education institute that is running in India, but they are not complying with the educational standard. They need to maintain the good quality of administration. So state government are passing laws to make sure that all this education they get recognition from the state government, they need to be comply with the quality of education. So that is the reason they have passed the bill. Okay. So the Nepal Prime Minister likely to visit India next month. Officials meet in the Kathmandu. So Nepal Prime Minister KP Sharma Oily likely to visit India. So being a neighbor country, so India is follow the policy of neighborhood fast policy. So that is going to be help in cementing our relationship and improving our relationship between the two countries. So dear student, very good morning to everyone once again. Hope you all are doing well. So Nepal Prime Minister KP Sharma Oily likely to visit India in September. Sources said. So Mr. Mistry who reach out to the Kathmandu. So India follow the policy of neighborhood fast policy. We discuss the full range of Nepal relationship with focus on strengthening our connectivity, trade, development, cooperation. So if you look into, Nepal is a landlocked country. So the only outlet for the Nepal to access to the world is through the India. So that is the reason India is always helping Nepal in their foreign policy. So August 5, so when Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina was overthrown by the student protest, so India has started improving its relationship with the other neighbor, because whenever we are facing lot of hit from our neighbor, so we have to make good relations. So closer outreach, so subsequent reach out to the leader of the neighboring country. So and hosted Maldivian President Mohammad Moizu. So oily visited to India continue to delay despite lack of high level politician dialogue. Nepal and India worked together in recent months. So recently, I think you know that during our Operation Sindoor, so Nepal is also supported India and condemned the terror attack. So recently, there is a flash flood that has happened in the Jammu and Kashmir. So here we have seen how so many people have been died. So I'm just going to explain why this Himalayan region is very much prone to the flash flood. Let's say this is the Himalaya. So this is Himalaya. So when rain bearing, no, when rain bearing wind approach the Himalaya, so it is forced rapidly towards upward. So when you are suddenly making a wind or a cloud, the wind to rise upward, so it is rapidly condensed and form rain, heavy rainfall. Whenever heavy rainfall is formed, so it is called the landslide, and we have already damaged the forest here, so and ensure the construction. So because of that, there's a severe landslide and it is washed away everything on its way. So that led to the severe rainfall. This is what called orographic rainfall and orographic cloud burst. So this is the reason the Uttarakhand, Himachal and Jammu Kashmir are more prone to the earthquake. So how honor killing, so चलिए नेक्स्ट आर्टिकल देखते हैं. सो हाउ ऑनर किलिंग इन इंडिया आर रीएनफोर्स एंड लेजिटिमाइज. So in Indian society, so we know that caste caste is a very important factor. Whether you are going to get education, whether we are going to which caste you are going to have education, what you are going to have food, everything is decided by the caste. So caste is a very important factor in your family, in your society, in politics, everything. But gradually, with improvement in education, with improvement in awareness, we are seeing that the caste factor is gradually fading away among the people. But still there are certain section of the society who are believing that status quo should be maintained. So let's say some weaker section of the society, there are scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, particularly from Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka. So their status is rapidly rising. So there might be some marriage between this scheduled caste men and upper caste women. So that is what led to this some conservative section. They believe that it is against the caste norm, it is against the conservative norm. So that led to the honor killing. So you can say that by globalization, by education, by urbanization, the caste equation is rapidly declining among educated lower class, but still the upper class people and those who are highly conservative section, they still believe in the caste system. In case of there is a conflict, then that led to the honor killing. On the other end, the section of the society and the reason where the people from the lower caste, they don't have education, they don't have proper jobs, they are not competing with the upper class, they are less amount of honor killing is prevalent. So please read this article, is very important about the honor killing. Honor killing is happen because whenever family member they simply kill family members, is they simply kill their girl, their boys, whenever they believe that by having marriage or sexual relation with a lower caste, that impact their caste system, they impact their honor. So to save their honor, they simply kill the either boys or girls. Okay, so please read it, it's a very good articles. The state like Tamil Nadu, Telangana and Maharashtra, Kerala, where Dalit community were seen relatively greater empowered, record higher Rates of intercaste marriage, ironically these are also the states with increasing incident of honor killing. So the more people are educated, the more people are aware, so they challenge the system, and there is a vested interest, there is a traditional system who are having rigid in the caste system. When there is a conflict, so simply they kill the boys. So just read it, you will understand. So चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So what was the impact of ethanol blending? So recently government is planning to blend ethanol in our petrol. So we are following E20. That means 80% petrol, 20% ethanol. Okay, so that is what promoted by the government, and in very recently in 2025 we have achieved the targets of 20% ethanol blending. So 20% content, 20% of the ethanol being sold by the Indian oil refiner have been much news, because India achieved this 20% ethanol blending 5 way ahead of its targets. Okay, so how vehicle owner reacting to this change? So whenever you are blending ethanol with your petrol, so there is a slight decline in the mileage. So let's say by petrol, if your 1 liter of petrol 100 rupees, if you are having 60 kilometer, let's say hypothetical, by using E20 ethanol blending, so it can be 55, not k kilometer, not kg, kilometer. So that is what there is a declining in the mileage. So vehicles sold in India in 2020 come with E20 stickers indicating compatibility with E20 ethanol blended petrol. That means our vehicle post 2020 they are comply with the ethanol blending. So Hero Motorcorp, the material composition such as rubber, elastomer and plastic component directly exposed to the fuel need to be changed to E20 compatible materials. So there has been argued that because of E20 there is a drop in the mileage. So while center admitted marginal drop in engine efficiency, so can further minimize through the improved engine tuning and use of E20 compatible materials. So center is saying that we can improve the tuning. So there is a tuning means voice modulation of the vehicle, so that mileage can be improved. So the validation campaign that is being launched by the Niti Aayog, they also accepted that, and they are in belief that if consumer the mileage is reduced, so we need to remove the taxes, so that price of E20 will be have to be very low, or certain little bit of low as compared to petrol, so that consumer can adapt it that. Since 14 and 15 already saved 1.4 lakh crore of foreign exchange reserve. So because of ethanol blending, we have saved 1.4 lakh crore, 1.4 trillion rupees. So because of this ethanol blending, so this money is we have saved in terms of forex. This money is going to our farmer. So what about impact on the agriculture? Sugarcane based ethanol supply grown in 40 liters 2014 to 670 crore liters, so deriving from 90% of the total sugarcane output. So majority of the ethanol that produced in India derived from the sugarcane, and out of that 1.2 lakh crore rupees is gone to the farmer. So but big question is how it is environmental friendly. If you look into our sugar production belt, so it is basically located in the Maharashtra region, and we know that Maharashtra region they are cultivated in a very water deficit, and Maharashtra is facing acute water shortage. So about 60 to 70 tons of water is required to cultivate 1 tons of sugarcane. Just you can imagine how much water guzzling. Many sugarcane growing regions do not receive 150 to 300 cms of rainfall that is necessary for crop optimal growth. This lead to the underground extraction and unsustainable irrigation method. So that means with more blending of ethanol, more extraction of groundwater, so this region may face severe drought and groundwater depletion. So Central Groundwater Board report says that sugarcane growing district Maharashtra extract more groundwater than nearby regions. So distress among the sugarcane grower in the state has been widely reported. Definitely, if you extract more water, ground will have very less water. So that is going to impact. So sustainable, unsustainable agricultural practice accelerate the land degradation, desertification, and land degradation. Atlas of India 2021 found that 30% of India land is degraded. Already our 30% of our land is degraded because of multiple factors. The water intensive nature of the sugarcane and its impact on the groundwater reserve at a time of extreme weather have been very severe. So you can see about its very environmental, its impact is very severe also. So because the sugarcane cost on the environment is very high, so government is also exploring alternative crop. For example, it can be we can produce ethanol from the broken rice, we can produce ethanol from the corn also, but that led to the threat from the food security. If more food is diverted for the ethanol production, so we might face the food security issue. Again, the rice, the corn, they are also environmental, their cost of environment is very high. So despite diversification effort, area under the sugarcane cultivation this year estimated to be 57.24 lakh, against almost similar, like so that means sugar, we are still depends on the sugar cane, and the cultivation of sugar is directly depends on the fair and remunerative price that is being provided by the state government, above state government and central government. So India booming ethanol economy has also come under gaze of the USA. So recently Donald Trump also demand opening of the ethanol sector for the USA. So that is what also led to the if we are going to open up, so our farmer is going to face lot of threat. If we are not going to open, then we might face the threat of sanction also. So, and how the by promoting ethanol is also impacting our EV. So we have to consider first, we have make a transition. First, currently we are using petrol vehicle. From petrol we have to move towards ethanol, then only we can move towards EV. So in EV, the problem is that Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas said that shift towards ethanol blended petrol has helped India to reduce carbon dioxide by the 700 lakh tons, and shifting to the EV, however, will achieve far higher rate of emission reduction and speed up this transportation decarbonization. If we are moving towards EV, will make our transport section decarbonization or carbon neutrals. So the transportation sector is the third largest carbon emitter. So already in UPSC they have asked about which sector contributing larger emission. So this is third emission industry sector after the energy and industry. So first one is energy, industry and transportation, EIT. So you have to remember, so largest sector that contribute to the emission is energy, industry, then transportation. So you can see about the Beijing one, used to be highly polluting, so now it has become a very clean cities. So success of the city like Beijing in cutting air pollution is mainly due to rapid adoption of EV. Of course the switch has backed by the renewable energy rather than coal. So if we are using EV and you are charging this EV from the thermal coal power plant, in that case we are not making it greeny, like rather we are making it more polluting. So that is what they are saying. So our EV should be charged from the solar or wind or renewable energy, it should not be coal power energy. So adoption of EV has much slower in India as compared to other countries like USA, European Union, China. So because of there is a lot of factor for that, the cost of the EV is very high, we need charging infrastructure, our customer are not that rich, they are poor also. So about 76% of the vehicle in 2014 are EV. So sales of EV increased to 22% in next 5 year, and our target is to achieve 30% of sale of total vehicle is EV by 2030. So this is a very ambitious target. So if we can pursue, then we can achieve it. Another challenge is EV needs some rare earth material like neomagnesium and other rare earth minerals, but China is controlling this rare earth minerals. Recently China imposed a curve on import of all these rare earth minerals that led to the severe shortage of these minerals that is being used for manufacturing of the EV. So that is what probably create problem for the India. This supply squeeze come just a auto supply preparing for aggressive EV rollout. Okay, so going forward there is a uncertainty on whether center want push ahead with the ethanol blending beyond 20%, while ministry saying we need to ensure that. No need to go in detail, just listen, this is more than enough. Dear student, you can join, you can scan this QR code to join our Telegram. There will get a lot of MCQs on this current affair that we are discussing. You can also get MCQ in our community section as well. So next is India's patent landscape, university as a change maker. So if you look into the patent filing in India, once earlier Indian patent filing is very less. Even in India, our patent filing is around 120%, but now they are 67%. Significant percent of our patent are filed by the Indians, and at the global level our contribution are rising very rapidly. We are making it second largest patent filing at the international level. So this is a very good starting. So India patent landscape, that means patent means if you are making some innovation, you have to file the patent so that you can protect your innovation for next 20 year. You have the exclusive right to produce it. Let's say आपने क्या किए, let's say आपने एक chip बनाया, chip for the computer, so and you have filed the patent, so that means you have the right for next 20 year of ownership of this patent. So you can use this method to produce n number of patent and prevent other from using that. So patent India's patents landscape university as a change maker. So a country is steadily moving from being merely consumer of the global technology to becoming a creator of the technology. So that means we are moving very fast as a global leaders. For making India to succeed, India must first discover, then invent and make them. So that is what we need to invest in the discovery. We need to invest in the R&D. So inaugural of Quantum in Bengaluru Summit. So investment in research and development has strengthened innovation capabilities are particularly relevant given the growing uncertainty of global trade and financial flow. So no different countries are imposing sanction on India. So then how we are going to overcome that if we can reduce cost of production, and how we can reduce the cost of production by innovation. If you are doing some innovation, the cost of production can be removed. If cost of production is removed, we can be a leader in the global market. Why China is leader in the manufacturing of the electronics and everything? Because they are investing in the R&D. So statistics from the Office of Control General of the Patent Design and Trademarks, so you can see about, so in 2000 India used to be 20% of the patent file, so now it is changing. So Indian applicant account for 57 of the total patent. So that means our contribution is rising very fast. So India is steadily moving from being merely consumer of the global technology to the becoming a creator. Instead of consuming the global technology, now we are producing and filing patent and become a leader. So Indian intellectual property right policy, and so why how this is possible? Because we have taken so many steps. For example, national intellectual property right policy, auto innovation mission. So these are few initiatives that is we have taken to improve it. Okay, so next is so we have also encouraged startups, students and researchers to think big and protect their idea. Amendment to the protect rule introduced reforms such as expedite examinations. So these are few steps we have taken to improve. So if you look into at the international levels, so our patent mostly initially we have filed in mechanical and chemical engineering. Now it is the computer science and electrical engineering that is what dominating. So if you look into the patent clearance, earlier it is used to be take around 8 to 10 years to clearance of our patent. Now it is declining very fast. So our patent are getting clear in 2 to 3 years also. So this acceleration reflect the maturing of India intellectual property infrastructure and its alignment with the government motive. So you can see at the international level also in 2000 about 43% of Indian patent was filed by the company. So mostly they are owned by the company, but now this is being declining. Only 17% of the patent are filed by the company, and individual they are filing more of patent. That means the patent are shifting, the innovation are shifting towards more individual in nature. Okay. So next, so the government initiative helped to drive changes. For example, Kapila. So we have implemented Kapila. So what is the full form of Kapila? Kerala program, sorry, Kalam program for IP literacy and awareness. Kalam program for IP literacy and awareness. So launched in 2020, promote IP awareness in higher education institutions. So Atal Mission for Innovation by Niti Aayog, foster problem solving and uh, promoting the intellectual property rights. So university have also taken the lead by establishing dedicated IP cells. So different university they have established dedicated IP cells so that promote intellectual property right. For example, IIT Madras doubled this patent granted from 156 in 2020 to 300 in 2023. So while government and university creating enabling environment, sustained increase in the research funding are essential to maintain the momentum. No doubt government and university they are doing excellent work. So what we need more fund. If you look into the per cap GDP investment, India invests around 0.7% of its GDP on the R&D, while China 2.5, USA 3.5. That is what we can see. You can talk about whenever you are talking about research and development investment. We need to invest more. We are far beyond. Like China is investing 3 times. Okay, 3 4 times also. US is investing 5 times, so we have to invest more. Okay, so this investment is even more urgent today on certain global trade and financial environment. So finally, it is important to acknowledge that relentless effort of the professors and researchers often working with limited resource to expand boundary of knowledge, strengthening their work. So now India emerges a global leader in the intellectual property right. Just imagine, without having any fund, if we are leader, if we have fund, what could have been achieved. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So I think this article is very important for your patent trademark already mentioned in your GS3. So please read it very carefully. You can give answer about that. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. The next is a case for judicial introspection. So recently what happened? So in a parliamentary, the Supreme Court judgment. So Supreme Court given a judgment on, I think, what is that judgment? Yes. So Anup Baranwal versus Union of India. So I'm just reading it out. Please listen very carefully. So I am expecting a prelims question or mains question from the Election Commission of India. So, Election Commission and other Election Commission Appointment Condition of Service Terms Act with a view to nullify constitutional bench judgment. Supreme Court in Anup Baranwal versus Union of India said that the Election Commission of India plus other election commission, they can appoint by the three-member committee comprising of Prime Minister, leader of opposition, and Chief Justice of India. And to overcome this, this judgment, and the Parliament passed the Election Commission and other Election Commission appointment order. They removed the they removed the Chief Justice of India to appoint another Union Ministry or Cabinet Ministry in this space. You can see here both two persons are from the government, so there is a high chances of getting 2:1 majority, so they can appoint anyone who are having in favor of the government as the Election Commission of India. So Election Commission and other Election Commission appointment condition service and terms of act with a view to nullify the constitutional bench judgment in Anup Baranwal, Union of India. The act exclude Chief Justice of India and included Cabinet Minister to be nominated by the Prime Minister in his place as part of the selection committee for choosing Election Commission of India. So earlier the Anup Baranwal case, so it is three-member committee comprising of Prime Minister, leader of opposition, and Chief Justice of India. So now Parliament passed an act remove the Chief Justice of India, rather Cabinet Minister that is being nominated by the Prime Minister. Here it is person from the government, so there is high chances of they will appoint a person they are favorable to them. Okay. So in all probability, a more independent election commission could have potential to conduct election in a more fairly and impartially. That did not happen. So at that time before the election of 2004, so this is what happened. If Supreme Court could have taken this step at that time, so we could have prevented the allegation currently we are leveling against this Election Commission of India. So Anup Baranwal Constitutional Bench analyzed the Article 324 of the Constitution dealing with the appointment of the Election Commission. It spoke the need to take appointment out of exclusive hands of the executive, but we don't know executive might appoint person who are very close to them, who are very bending to them. So that is what led to the compromisation of free and fair election. So okay. So fourth branch of the institution. So if you look into fourth, so first one is executive, legislature, judiciary, and fourth they are called independent institution of the constitution. They are like you can say they are about Election Commission of India, then National Commission on Scheduled Caste, National Commission on Scheduled Tribe, other regulatory bodies. So Article 324 failed to describe a body free from ruling executive Election Commission. Modern constitution have recognized need to evolve fourth institution. These are fourth branch of the institution. These are called regulatory branch of institution. They're basically independent from all the three body. Their main aim is to regulate. Okay. So that is what the high time we need to reform our election commission to make sure that the body that is appointing it should be political neutral. So by resorting to or restoring the original situation, like election commission is appointed by three-member committee comprising of Prime Minister, leader of opposition, and Chief Justice of India, then only we can ensure independence. चलिए next article देखते हैं. So next is role recall. So Supreme Court intervention in highlight the election commission procedural failure. So recently in this special intensive revision drive that has been going on in Bihar, we have seen 65 lakh people are excluded from the list, and there is a case that is going on, and Supreme Court asked the election commission to publish all the list of name and for the reason of their exclusion. So and it is also being analyzed that the large number of women are being excluded, though in Bihar large number of men are migrated. So how come it is possible women can be excluded, and more number of minority like Muslim are also excluded? So this is a clear indication that there might be something wrong in this special intensive revision drive. Okay. So that led to the questioning of the election commission. Also the document 11 list of document that is being provided to support your citizen voter ID also not available to everyone. So it is being found that it is being found that so many documents are missing from people don't have these documents. Okay, like the I think in Bihar it's very difficult for people to have the birth certificate, because it is the failure of the state to provide the birth certificate. Even when state are not in a positions to provide birth certificate timely, how can we expect our citizens to have the birth certificate? So when Bihar majority of 95% of population is having Aadhaar card, voter ID, so why the election commission exclude that? That is what the question the Supreme Court is asking to the Election Commission of India, and it's directed that the Election Commission of India should include these documents in filing the claim also. Then only in a democracy, it is the role of Election Commission of India to ensure that those who are the real beneficiary, those who are real voter, they should be included. Those who are fake, they need to be eliminated. But it should not be very hard, it should not be follow it should not be create problem for the due process of law. Okay, चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So new start. So Ukraine security concern must be addressed for lasting peace. So recently the summit is held between the Donald Trump and the Russian president at the Alaska. So they are discussing to find a lasting peace in the Ukrainian question. So we have to understand to find any kind of solution in the Ukrainian. So we need to ensure that should be addressing the root cause. What is the address root cause? Eastward movement of the NATO and militarization and deployment of the NATO forces in the Ukraine. So Russia given three demand for ending the war. So first one is recognition of the territory it is being gained. Second, the Ukraine should be torn into neutral, and third one is preventing you know preventing the eastward movement of the NATO also. So if we are going to address that and ensure the security guarantee for Ukraine, then only we can bring about lasting peace. Okay, so please read it, you'll find. So this reason you need to know. So few reason that is being captured by the Russia from Ukraine: Zaporizhia, Kherson, Donbas, that is Luhansk, Donetsk. Okay, so you need to know about. In past also UPSC they have asked multiple question about this location. Recently seen in news, located where. So Namibia, India saw a new way of engaging with the Africa. Africa, it is called as the emerging continent. It's future continent of world, but it is being neglected and it is being exploited by the Chinese. So, but India's development is quite different. We are engaging with this African country, particular Namibia, in a very close cooperation, friend relation. So, to address to the Namibia National Assembly, Prime Minister Narendra Modi quote Namibian poet. That is what clear linkage India favoring cultural relations rather than a cultural people to people contact rather than simply buyer and client relationship. The gesture suggested deliberate effort to engage culturally meaningful term, reflecting more grounded approach to the partnership building. It is sharp contrast to the Western engagement, which continue to be shaped by conditional ad, travel ban, episodic withdrawal, such as recently US said cutback and increasing tied to the migration deterrence with assistance hiding controlling outward migration flow. So Western engagement, Chinese engagement, they are driven by the self-interest, but India's engagement driven by increasing capacity of the people, building the capacity, improving the life of the people. Step being pursue, India pursue quieter adaptive approach favoring alignment over instruction and forming issue-based coalition. Underlying this approach to be a deliberate three-step logic, evolving shared historical solidarity. We have long history of the colonial rule, so that is what binding together. So next is engaging in present day pragmatic cooperation. The challenge that Namibia is facing quite similar to the India was facing quite past. So we can lot of expertise in that, so we can help them. So investing in long term future oriented ties. So it is talking about the how we can write your answer. Here it is given past, present and future. So you can also use this framework to write something na. देखो in daily paper, so they're giving a lot of information, so you need to understand this framework, past, present, future. You can use to write your main answer everything with any relations also. For example, how our relationship is evolving with USA in past, present and in future. You can divide into three parts. If it is a 15 marks and then discuss, you'll get very good marks because of your logical way of expressing. Okay, so this offer insight into what more thoughtful, durable partnership with Africa state might look like. First step is anchor with the diplomacy of share anti-colonial heritage. We have vast common heritage, and but legitimacy, solidarity we have shown during non-alignment movement, we have shown for our African liberation. So that is what binding together. So highlight the depth and breadth of current cooperation. New Delhi bilateral trade with the Namibia is around 800 million, so modest and growing. So India is providing 12 billions of investment, or add to the billions of developmental partnership with across the Africa. More significantly, India targeted investment capacity building, including India Namibia Center of Excellence in IT, Namibia University in Science and Technology, and India wing of University in Namibia. So funded 12 million grant. So we are also investing huge amount of money for capacity building of the Africa. So what are the advantages of Namibia? Namibia is politically stable, rich in minerals. So it is a political stable country, without having any upheaval or military coup, and rich in terms of mineral like uranium. So resource and growing technological base offer a strong foundation for India's engagement, grounded in the shared history and aligned future. So India and Namibia share a compelling vision of partnership, consistent follow through the remaining challenges. India developmental ambition are often criticized for uneven implementation. So India had so you can see about what are the things that we can get from the Namibia. So for example, Global Biofuel Alliance, we can have collaboration at the Disaster Resilience Infrastructure Initiative. So Namibia is critical for minerals because it is having large uranium reserve. So this is very essential for India. Okay, so so India is quite so next we can see about India is institutionalizing our cooperation with Africa in India Africa Forum Summit. So this is going to be held very recently. So we need to promote more collaboration, high level interaction among India and African nations to ensure that we need to have development. Okay, so ultimately India's credibility as a global South partner will rest on only what it commit to, but also how consistently and collaboratively it follow through. So if you are coming across any country, then check that Namibia. So you can see here, so you have to check the map. So Namibia location and what kind of it is rich for. You can see here. Okay, so yes, the capital is Windhoek. Okay. So whenever you are coming across any location, any country, please search it immediately on your Google Map. So you'll find a lot of things. So dear student, this is all about the 18th August, the Hindu newspaper analysis. Dear student, if you like this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and please do share this video with your friend. And we are conducting this live session each and every day around 8:30 to 9 a.m. in the morning. So please turn on your notification so that you will not miss any important updates. Chaliye, dear student, we'll have to end our discussion here. Take care. Bye bye. Have a good day. Bye.